Hey guys, Desolator Magic back with a quick video covering, believe it or not, the actual tournament. Now you guys know I've said on multiple occasions I don't give a crap about professional Magic. I've never been to a tournament, I probably won't ever go to one, and I especially don't really like Modern as a format. But I do like Channel Fireball, and I was stuck outside for 8 hours straight today, so I want to be inside doing something brainless, so I decided to watch Grand Prix LA. Now, I noticed something on the Twitch stream, which currently has just short of 17,000 people watching, which is great. I mean, for the game, I wish it was 100,000, but still. But I can speed read, so I read every single comment for about the last 30 minutes or so, and I actually noticed an interesting trend. Now, Wizards has their reasons for when they change things. They release like a press release or an announcement article, and then they tell you, okay, this is why we're doing it. And it's very rarely the entire truth. It's usually accurate, it's usually pretty smart, you can see the logic in what they do, but it's never the full truth. So I watched one match where one guy was playing Tron, the other was playing, I don't remember. But Tron dude should have lost. I mean, he had a pretty good opening hand, but he probably should have lost. And then he top decked exactly what he needed after he had some kind of Thoughtseize effect. I wasn't paying that close of attention. So the other guy knew that he top decked him because he had just seen his hand. I think one was Wormcoil Engine, the other was probably the third card of Tron. And every single comment was, wow, Magic the Gathering is so about skill, and oh, I'm sure he didn't stack his deck, which I'm sure he didn't. I mean, come on. On camera and against an experienced player, that you gotta have some balls to do that. So the Tron guy won. I think it was like 49 life to 0 or something. It was unbelievable. I hate Tron so much. The only reason I haven't come out and said, oh my gosh, I need to ban it, is because all my decks beat the living crap out of Tron. So they can keep playing it forever, but still, it's just stupid. You can't take something that was specific to the block, like Infect, for example, or Tron, or just something real powerful, but it was limited because of the block it was in, and then just unleash it and let people play it with any card ever printed, just about. You just can't do that. You can't be having like Tron and Emrakul. It just doesn't work. So the comments were about, I don't know, 50-60% negative. Everybody's screaming that they need to ban certain cards, and they're so sick of people winning that way, and they don't respect the player. They said this guy is so annoying. All he plays is like Miracles and Tron, and I just hate the player, hate the deck, hate the card, ban everything. It's basically me 16,810 times over, which is how many people are watching. Who knew? The majority of people actually agreed with me. I am honestly surprised about that. Then, in between the matches, they played Fact or Fiction, which I love that. It's great. Honestly, it's better than like ESPN coverage of the NFL draft. They said, they proposed the question, do all Phyrexian spells need to be banned? And they universally and passionately said yes. The colors mean nothing. Nothing. I mean, you can throw Dismember in a Merfolk deck, which is literally the example that they just used. Gitaxian Probe, they said it's never like, oh, I just want to see your cards and then draw a card and that's what I want to do. No, it's always part of some unfair crap like, driving up a storm count or something, or just thinning your deck out as a free scry that you shouldn't have, while you also have Anticipate and Serum Visions in the deck too. So then they went over to what they called a time-shifted match. I wouldn't have called it that, considering there's something called time-shifted. I would have used the term pre-recorded, but whatever. In fact, neither of the players were playing cards that were time-shifted. But right before the match even started, they said Corey Burkhart with Grixis versus Steven Peters with Infact. Every damn person in the chat said, oh, Infact, sad face. Infact, oh great. Infact, I'm gonna stop watching. Oh, it's Infect again. Screw Infact. I hope he dies of some sort of infection. I hate Infect. Ban Infect. Hashtag ban Infect. I don't think you can even use hashtags on Twitch, technically. So the entirety of everybody watching this online, the entire tournament stream, was overwhelmingly negative about the Modern section of this tournament. Then in between matches, both of the announcers passionately agreed that Modern is broken as crap. All the Phyrexian spells are unfair. They're used in unfair ways to do broken stuff, and they all need to be universally banned across the board. They completely, unequivocally agreed with me. So their coverage was overwhelmingly negative about the game. Then we went to another match, and all the comments from the viewers were overwhelmingly negative. And these are the people that purposely went out of their way to take time out of their day to watch this on Twitch. They're watching it live because they want to see what happens. They're interested in Magic. and they're still overwhelmingly negative about the same things that I've been mentioning on my channel for about half a year. So it seems to me like the public has spoken. Modern sucks, everybody hates it, they need to fix it. It actually got so bad, I'd say about 1 in 10 messages were deleted by the moderators, which is kind of funny. Now, how does this relate to what I just said at the beginning of the video? You may recall that Wizards just announced they're dropping Modern from the promotional tour. Yes, it's called the promotional tour. It's Pro Tour is short for that, but it's not the Pro Players Tour. That's not what it is. It is and always has been the promotional tour. Don't let anybody tell you it's not, because it is. I'm so sick of people mentioning that in the comment section. Anyway, they dropped Modern from the Pro Tour because nobody wants to watch it. I mean, they said it's because the promotional tour is supposed to promote the new set that just came out. That's why it's right after the release of the set. It's supposed to show off the new cards, and that's the focus of it. So it makes sense to have, like, you know, pre-constructed, then like a draft, and then you know, a couple side tournaments with some weird like sealed stuff, and just whatever they do. They actually have quite a few little side events and stuff. So I think with people clearly stating that they're so sick of seeing Tron and Infect for the last 5 or 6 years, Wizards just doesn't want to show those decks off as often, I guess you could say, as if they would have it at both events, the Grand Prix and the Pro Tours. Now, other people are saying it's because they don't make money off it. They kind of do. I mean, Modern Masters, come on, so they have reason to popularize it. It's a very expensive set. And obviously, it always sells out. I mean, come on. So I think just the level of hate from the player base about Modern is what was really behind them dropping it from the Pro Tour. And you really have to give the people what they want. If they're all centrally complaining about one thing nonstop during the entire event, Wizards is kind of, you know, not obligated, but they have a pretty good reason at that point to fix it so they maintain viewers and players. It's just like I always said, if they light the ball on fire in soccer, or if they like do like a pinball thing and they release multi-ball, you know, so you start kicking around like 2 or 3 balls at once, Americans would probably watch soccer. Come on, international soccer, whatever the hell. Have multi-ball soccer. Come on, just chuck another ball out there and just see what happens. Just see how people react to it. It would be all over ESPN, and then boom, another format. So besides the hate level in the community about Modern, I have to mention how Star City Games royally screwed up the Grand Prix over in, where was that, Charlotte? You can just tell how much of a crap I give about these tournaments. But I do give a crap about Star City Games. Now, I can't officially blame them for anything. It's just my suspicion, my opinion, whatever. Don't sue me, you douchebags. But those crooked card-hoarding pieces of crap, also an opinion, managed to somehow break the software. So maybe the software broke on its own, which I've never heard of that happening. I mean, if it worked for the last 200 tournaments or whatever, why would it just all of a sudden break? Or one of the people running it misconfigured the software, and that caused it to match people up incorrectly. I'm actually fairly certain there's like a button you can press to tell it how to match people up, if you want it random, or if you want it, you know, traditionally based on how they did. And I think one of the staff members just pressed that button. I mean, you never know. They're blaming like a software malfunction, but I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Star City Games lied about something. So it's just a sneaking suspicion that perhaps their staff made a mistake and they're just trying to cover it up by making vague statements and not owning up to it. I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm just saying it's possible that that's what happened. And I don't think the truth will ever come out, unfortunately. They really like to bury these types of things. But of course, I would say what everybody else says. If I drove all the way out there and, you know, paid all the money for the hotel, travel expenses, everything in the entry, and they screwed it up like that, oh my gosh, would I be pissed. Except I can't really say that because I would never, ever in a million years attend a Star City Games tournament. Channel Fireball, you bet. And of course, I've heard complaints about Star City Games run tournaments in the past. Then again, to be fair, somebody has something bad to say about pretty much every tournament that's ever been run, but they seem to screw stuff up, I don't know, a bit of the time. So what do you guys think about the Grand Prix that are going on right now? What really happened in Charlotte, which according to my Twitter poll that I took, 90% of you at the moment think that it was a software glitch. Only 10% of you actually think that their staff screwed up. I personally think their staff screwed up. But I'm only about like 51% on that myself because I know Wizard software is complete and utter garbage. And I might make a video about why that is because, well, I'm sure I've mentioned this in the past. Otherwise, this is news to some of you. I am a professional software developer, or at least I used to be. I'm not currently working in software development, but I am one of the absolute best ones out there. Seriously, I took a national test and beat almost everybody on it. So I could write tournament tracking software that actually works in about 5 minutes, but then again, I could fix MTGO in about 5 minutes, and they haven't done it yet. So a lot of evidence on both sides of that one, unfortunately. So I just find it hard to believe that that simplistic of software would break after it's been working for so many years. That's just really weird. But who knows? Maybe they just patched it last month. I have no idea. But let me know what you think about that whole Charlotte situation, and let me know what you think about Modern. If they really do need to listen to the player base, and instead of banning things that they deem unfair based on their made up rules, if they should ban everything that the community as a whole thinks is unfair, like Phyrexian cards that might as well just be colorless. You know, your life total is really important in Modern, but it's a lot less important than it is in Standard. So if you lose 2 life to do something, some little trick in your deck and get a free spell off, it's pretty messed up. People tend to react badly to that. So if you agree with me, disagree, have a completely different opinion, if you're indifferent, or if you just want to share your favorite recipe for delicious blueberry waffles, then leave it down in the comment section. I'm sure I'm not going to regret mentioning that, and I'll see you guys next video.